Hello everybody and welcome to my first tips and tricks video. We're going to be taking a look at a full competitive match I had on Leijing Tower. To get started though, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my mercy settings, which is something all of you guys have asked for. So here they are. So if you guys have any questions about those settings, just ask me in the comments below. So let's get into the game now. As you can see, it's overall ranked as a high masters game, but I am in Grandmasters for this. And so what I'm doing right here is I am actually checking this guy's career profile because I'm curious how much time he has on Bastion. And it's not that I don't like the Bastion pick, it's that in the past I've been able to pick out throwers before the game starts by kind of checking to see how much time they have on a particular hero that they picked out. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the Bastion, and I'm going to do everything I can to work with him. But at this point, I was actually a little bit worried until he started using his microphone and was actually communicating and working with us, which dispelled my fears. So don't immediately blast someone just because they've picked a character that you may not agree with. Do everything that you can to work with them. And I started worrying about this team just a little bit because we didn't have a Reinhardt for the Bastion, but he seemed pretty confident. You can see him talking up there. He was going to work with Zarya, and then I'm going to try to do what I can to help him as well. Okay, coming out of spawn, you actually kind of want to stay out of line of sight. Let's go ahead and pause this because there's a lot of stuff happening. So our call out on our way out of spawn was that we were all going to go directly to the right and go straight to point. Now, the majority of our team did go to the right and start to go to point, except for Hog. Because I knew we had a second healer, being Zenyatta, I decided to go with Hog to help him as he tried to get an early pick. Now, what ended up happening is Sombra comes and gets right in the middle of our team and starts trying to target our Zenyatta. Sombra's very dangerous to Zenyatta's. For some reason, she can melt them like nothing else. So what's going to be going on here is I'm going to be calling out to Hog that there's a Sombra here while I'm trying to get heals on our Zenyatta so that way we can get the first pick. And they don't. Now, let's pause again. Once the Sombra's down, I see that we've already gotten a second pick with the Genji. So they're already down 2 players, and we're up all 6 of ours. So this fight at this point is pretty much won. From here on out, I want to try to support my Zarya and my Bastion as we finish cleaning up the point. Now, this is unfortunate that our Bastion gets taken off the map by Reinhardt, but honestly it doesn't matter. At this point, both of the enemy team's main DPS, Genji and Sombra, are both down. So what's going to be left is going to be either another DPS or a tank on the point, and then probably 2 healers. I haven't checked to see exactly what the enemy team has yet, and that's really bad on my part because I really should have been looking at that already. Things were just happening so fast, I hadn't taken a look at it yet. So once Bastion's gone, I'm going to turn to help out team, get booped by Lucio, fly back in, and we're good to go. Everybody's topped up on health, and we're set, getting ready for our next fight. Okay, so they switched off the Genji and went to Tracer, which is something that I needed to note. Their Sombra's over there attacking our Bastion, but our Zen went to help, which is why I didn't go. Now the unfortunate part is Zen went to help Bastion, and Bastion didn't help Zen, so we ended up losing our Zen to the Sombra. Lucio tries to boot me again, Reinhardt's there. I used Zarya's body as a block and then flew to, let's pause. So the reason I didn't take any damage from Reinhardt is because I was using Zarya's body as a block. A lot of the times you'll see me get really close up behind my tanks when I get into a situation like that, and use their tankiness to take the damage that I don't want to take myself. Once I see Hog, I fly to Hog, heal, come out the back, and then start healing the criticals that I have. I don't want to fly back through the team if I don't have to. They don't have a Pharah, so that means I'm pretty safe hanging out around the outside of this and flying in only when I need to.
Sorry, Bastion, I couldn't
Dodge the hog hook, call out hog that he doesn't have a hook, and then get killed by Sombra. So we ended up losing that fight purely because the Bastion did not help our Zenyatta when Zenyatta went back to help him. If Bastion and Zenyatta had stayed together and worked to kill Sombra, that fight would have gone very differently. So we reset, Pulse Bomb out, Zarya saves our Zenyatta, which is very nice. I need to heal Bastion. He healed himself, we're good. Heal up Genji, and then we start pushing. I'm calling out that I have res to push now. I really should be damage boosting Bastion. I try to, I grab Zen instead. I'm not sure how Zen didn't get hit by Hammer down there. Okay, now I'm waiting to res. I'm going to try to get in and pick both of these guys up, but let's pause here. So, I had 2 reses that I could have grabbed and picked back up. However, thinking back over to how that fight just went, taking a look at the point, and realizing that there's really only a Sombra left, and then the Mercy got killed so she can't res, there's no reason for me to res here. I don't need to waste that ult. I can hang on to that ult and use it for the next fight. Now, had their Mercy have resed, I absolutely would have resed.
Nice job, guys. Tracer.
Heal up Zen. And get reset. Take a look at our 2 guys. I'm always looking all over the map to try to see what's going on, where are the rest of my teammates, who can I fly to. The biggest part of being a Mercy main is always knowing where you can escape to. So if you don't have someone to fly to, your chances of survival drop. Now I know Bastion's going to be a huge target here, which is why I'm standing way outside the line of attack. Lots of ults going off. I went back onto point purely because Zen ulted, and then I was able to damage boost Bastion through his ult, and we wiped them up. However, I'm calling out, Mercy's gonna res, and she does, so I dip out completely. Oh, bye, Hog. I dip out completely to make sure that I don't get killed. Now, Bastion's in there dying. He had a Zen next to him and an orb on him, because Zen was telling me he was healing him. If Bastion really wanted to stay alive, Bastion probably should have self-healed. It was more important for me at that point in time in my mind to stay off the point so that I didn't get picked just in case some kind of crazy ult came off and I needed to res. However, the ult's going to come off now, and now I'm going to have to res. I see Hog, that scares me. I go ahead and pick 2 up, which means I miss my Hog. If I'd have waited a couple seconds, I probably would have been fine. I would have been fine, let's pause. I would have been able to pick up Hog as well. But if I'd have waited, I ran a very, very high chance of getting hooked and killed by the Hog. I'd rather pick 2 up and possibly miss Hog than die with res and completely lose. Now, our team's actually in a really good position here. We're cleaning up, and because I got those 2 people back up, we were able to hang on to the point and win. And so sometimes you're gonna have to res before you can pick everybody up, just because dying with res at a time like that can be an even bigger problem than maybe not grabbing someone. I would have liked to pick the Hog up because our Hog was doing a lot of work. I didn't think he was gonna I didn't know that he was gonna get pulse bombed until it was happening. I probably could have got to him to heal him, but he was on critical, so I probably should have waited for just a second. But like I said, if I'd have waited, I'm pretty sure I'd have been hooked by Hog since Hog came around the back. So let's go ahead and fast forward just a little bit. Alright, so here we go on the next map. Or the next control point rather. We're running the exact same comp that we did. Why not? It worked for us the first time. But I don't like that we went into this small room. We had a Bastion, which is fine to go in there, but it would have been better if we'd had a Reinhardt. We might have actually won this fight. However, the enemy team, as you can see, went full dive comp. They've got 3 DPS, 1 healer, and 2 tanks. And they completely wiped us. They 100% countered us by doing that. And we're all dead. Mercy's going to have res pretty quickly, being that she's the only healer over there, and she's healing a Winston, which is just indefinite ult charge for her. And so now we're trying to get reset up. Our Bastion switched to Hanzo, which I don't really like that choice in a dive comp. But if he can do well, then we're okay. I'm actually going to pause this because I just let Zen die. Sombra comes back to take out our Zen, and I did not have the reaction time to switch over, heal him, and keep him alive fast enough, which is bad on me. Now, we've got 2 down on their side. Both of their tanks are dead. Our Hog's doing work, but we've lost one of our healers. I'm trying to keep Hanzo alive here, switch over, try to heal Genji, and we're getting dough because Winston's back in already. And Hanzo's down, and now we're down in the fight. I believe what happened is their Mercy rezzed there. Pulse Bomb, healing Hog. A lot of the times if Hog isn't super hurt, you can heal him straight through a Pulse Bomb. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're still trying to... Genji's trying to kill me. Oh, I almost get him. I should have backed into the health pack and gone left. We had whole Hog. There's a lot of stuff going on in this fight right now. We ended up getting a Winston of our own, which is good to work with their 3 squishies. Winston counters the Genji Tracer and Sombra very nicely. We did win this engagement because they used Res earlier. And we did end up picking up a Reaper as well, so our whole team comp just switched to counter them. We should be in a really good position now. We have Res, and our comp counters theirs. We should be able to fight these battles better. Whenever I can get high ground, I get high ground. I don't like being on the ground, and Sombra comes up for me. Now I'm going to back out of here and not try to stay and fight this. And by backing out, I actually missed her EMP. I'm going to pause this. So the reason I didn't res right away is because Reaper was on critical. I wanted to heal him for a little while to try to keep him up before resing. If for some reason he died while I was healing him, I'd be able to pick him up as well, but I'm kind of keeping in mind the res timer. So I'm going to go ahead and res here, and then get my beam back on Reaper, who decides to ult. And then Mercy reses, and we fight the fight over again. So when a Winston's diving me, I'm going to, let's pause. I'm going to back up and try to put as much space between me and him as possible, and then Guardian Angel to someone as far away as I can. It means that I'm going to move a lot faster, and he has to wait for his jump if he'd already used it on cooldown. He has to chase me faster. Or not faster, farther. And my cooldown on my Guardian Angel is a lot faster than the cooldown on his jump. Now the reason I pull out my pistol here is because nobody's super hurt right now. We just had Sound Barrier go out, and there's a Winston chasing me. I'm going to shoot him and do some damage right now. I could be damage boosting our Winston. It might have been a better choice, but I didn't mind pulling my pistol out since nobody really needed me at right that moment. Ended up getting Winston pretty low. Could have damage boosted Reaper there. Probably should have. Winston's dead. We win the fight. Yeah, yes. Just kind of cleaning up. There's a Sombra also left that I call out that Genji picks up on our right here. Get everybody topped off. They're staggered, which is good. I want to go back up top. I really like playing with a Winston. Go down here and help Hog. Heal him through the Pulse Bomb. A lot of things that you can do to kind of help, let's pause this again, to help your Hog out if he is getting hit with a Pulse Bomb. If he's not super low, or if he's about half health, if he's got his own heals as well, tell him to heal while you're healing him through that Pulse Bomb. A smart Hog will automatically heal. So it's just something to kind of keep in mind. You can heal him through a Pulse Bomb for the most part, unless he's just got no health left. So now my main priority here is to stay alive. I've almost got res. I need to play a little more carefully, and I need to farm res as fast as I can. Gotta go. Tracer's on me. Bring her to the Hog, who takes care of it for me. Thank you, Hog. Take some pot shots at Sombra. Probably should have healed Genji so he didn't die, but I really didn't want to go over there since I have res. Staying out of line of sight for Sombra is actually really good because then you miss her EMP a lot of the times and you don't end up hacked. They do have a Pharah, which I called out before we see her here. I need to go help Lucio now. I'm not going to fly straight through that fight right now. I have res. I have to wait. And we just had 2 people go down, so I picked them back up and shoot Hog. We were all focusing in. He was the only target left. And this map is done.
Great work, guys.
Let's go ahead and fast forward. Okay, we end up with a Pharah, so I'm going to go up with Pharah to start off with and damage boost her in hopes that she gets some early picks. They also go Pharmacy. I hate Pharmacy on Pharmacy. It can work sometimes if your Pharah is really good, but it's annoying to me.
Their Pharah is targeting me, so just FYI.
Tuck around the edge there. Get inside the bubble or near the bubble. Always use everything that you possibly can to keep yourself alive. Now, Hog is doing a good job of avoiding me being able to heal him there. So I start healing Hog and then turn around and go back the other direction because he is being attacked and I don't want to be here. Fly back through, go towards the bubble so I can regen health. And I'm alright. Now, for me, when the enemy team has a Pharah, unless she's inside that point, I want to be inside the point, even though most of the fighting is going on there, because Pharah will just kill me in 2 rockets if I'm outside, and it's a good Pharah. Basically, my main priority is staying... Oh, by Hog. My main priority is staying away from the Pharah at that point. Now, I'm thinking about rezzing our Hog because I have res here, but I don't want to yet. They're not really pushing it. Now, they did kill our Winston. Let's pause and talk about my thought process here. So Hog has been doing a lot of work for us. I could have rezzed our Hog, but they hadn't managed to push over here onto the point yet. So I wasn't too terribly worried about it. Now, when our Winston died, he did die behind them, so he probably shouldn't have been that terribly overextended, or I should have been a better Mercy and gone with him. But I did have res, so I didn't want to stretch out that far. And once they killed him, then they came over the bridge and started really pushing. I knew our Hog was going to be back very soon, so I decided it was better to solo res the Winston and get our whole team here as quickly as possible, as opposed to just waiting and waiting for more people to die. That way both of our tanks were here a lot quicker than if I had just not res the Winston. We get basically our full team back quicker by doing that. Go up with Pharah, get off the ground for a second. I am getting chased by Tracer right now, and I'm calling it out. I see our Hog. Go straight to the Hog. Now, I did see Hog and go to Hog on purpose for him to kill Tracer. He had been killing her this entire game like crazy. So when I saw him, I was like, yes, he'll be able to take care of it. And I called out, Tracer's trying to kill me, and he said, where are you? I said, I'm bringing her to you. He hooked her, killed her. Roadhog MVP. Use your teammates to stay alive. Don't always run away from them. Sometimes the safest place to be is going to be in the middle of the action because there's so much going on. And going to someone who can help take care of whatever flanker's chasing you. Taking a Tracer to a McCree or taking a Genji to a Winston or something like that can save your life. So always keep in mind not just objects for protection, but teammates for protection. Protection. Sorry guys, having a hard time talking right now. But teammates for protection. If you're getting shot, get behind your Roadhog. Let him take some of the bullets while you heal him. He'll be alright. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's saved my life a lot in these games. So we're ulting. I really want to go heal this person on critical, but they're avoiding me. Genji, come here. Pharah's on point. I'm worried about her using her ult, which is why I kind of slid off the point. Oh, Mercy. But we ended up killing her, which is good. Our Pharah ulted. We used 2 ults that fight that I remember, and we're good.
Power boosted, it's a fuckload.
We're almost back to res.
As long as it's a headshot.
I had like 420 health and he hooked me.
The Tracer actually switched off here and went Soldier.
They got rid of the Tracer. They went Soldier.
Makes my life a little easier. Although he does aim well, which is why I'm getting shot in the air. So I kind of don't go up with Pharah too much after this, or if I do, I drop back down pretty quickly. I have res, so I'm gonna just not be there for that.
monkey.
So we lost Winston. I can't res him. I'm waiting to decide if I want to solo res this. I do. The reason I did is because it was our Lucio. That was important to me to get the second healer up. It gives us speed and extra heals if I need it, which is why I wanted that. So now we're going to go over here and try to get a hold of our Roadhog, get some heals on him. I'm going to move because Zarya's coming. Oh, by Lucio. Nope, missed. There we go. If I had been damage boosting Hog right there, we probably would have been fine. Mercy reses. I've got to go. So I do come back on point, and that's a very dangerous position that I just went to. Oh, I didn't get to Fair in time. Crap, let's pause. So I went back on point because I wanted to get away from what was outside as well, but there was also a lot going on point. But if you notice, we really didn't take much damage. Like I said, sometimes the safest place to be is going to be kind of right in the middle of everything because nobody's really focusing on you at that point. There's so much going on and so many people shooting them that a lot of the times you don't become a priority. Now, I wouldn't do that necessarily. Like, if I had res, I wouldn't have gone back in there. I'd have actually been backing up, especially since we're in overtime. But because we're in overtime and I'm only 50% back to res, I am going to play a little bit more aggressively and being in and around everybody, trying to get my res up as quickly as possible. Really should have grabbed Roadhog a little bit quicker there. There we go. Image boosting Hog ult is so much fun. I'm calling out the fact that there's a soldier over on the right.
Good job, guys.
And we win.
Good job.
So, hopefully, that you guys... Oh, somebody left at the very end. Our Bastion! So, hopefully, that video was helpful to you guys. This is the first time I've tried to kind of explain my thought process to anyone as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So hopefully it wasn't just a bunch of jumbled craziness there. Hopefully this helps. If you guys like this kind of video, let me know. I can try to save some matches as we go. And do this every once in a while if it helps. If you guys want to see something a little bit different, let me know. If you guys have something specific you want me to touch on how to deal with, I can do that as well. So let me know what you guys think.